Hi guys, my name is Jasmine and welcome back to my channel. I'm really excited for today's video because today I'm going to be showing you guys all of my favorite bronzers that are good for dark skin. Now, if you are a dark skin person that likes to wear makeup, you already know the struggle of, first of all, finding bronzers that are suitable for your skin tone. When I first started wearing makeup, I didn't wear bronzer at all. I didn't even think that I could wear bronzer. And now, on top of that, it's hard to find some that are good for our skin tones. So thankfully, I actually have grown quite the collection and would love to show you guys all the bronzers that I love for my skin tone. So if you would like to see all my favorite bronzers for dark skin tones, please keep on watching. So these past few months, I feel like people have really been loving cream bronzer. It's really easy to apply, it just melts into the skin, and it's really, really nice for everybody. I only have a couple because I'm more of a powder bronzer person, but if you like cream bronzer, I have a couple to recommend. The first is the Fenty Beauty Cream Bronzers. These bronzers I don't think are talked about very much anymore, but I really, really like them. The shade that I have is called Toffee Tease. Here is what Miss Toffee Tease looks like. It's a really, really rich, deep shade. I believe this is the deepest shade that they have in the line. They also have a shade called Chocolate, which I think would look nice on me, but I really love deep bronzers, so that's why I got this one. I don't know if you noticed, but I cleaned her up for you because I didn't want to show y'all dirty bronzers. But if you watch my videos, you know what my Mocha mommy looks like. But we'll get to that later. This bronzer is absolutely amazing. It gives you a really nice, glowy, dewy, hydrated look. I would say I have more oily skin, so I don't always gravitate towards this one. But it is really nice and it sets really well as well. Sometimes I also like to use this as a cream contour rather than a bronzer. But yeah, I will swatch the shade so you can see. It's really, really pigmented and a really, really nice, deep, opaque shade. It's really, really nice. I love that bronzer. The next cream bronzers that I have to show you guys are the e.l.f. Putty Bronzers. I just did a review of these bronzers on my channel, so I will leave it up in the cards up here. I don't know which side it's on, so I'll leave it up here. But I absolutely love these bronzers. I have two different shades here. Oh, I think I got out the wrong shade. Let me get out the other one real quick. So I have two different shades here. One is darker and one is lighter. This darker one is in the shade Beach Please, and this one is in the shade Bronzed Belle. I can definitely swatch the two of those for you too. And I'm not going to speak too much about these because, as I said, I did just do a review of these on my channel, so you can go and watch that to see me apply it and see my full thoughts on these bronzers. But they are really, really nice and an amazing dupe for the Fenty Beauty cream bronzers, because I know sometimes we don't have the Fenty Beauty money, and that's a-okay. So I'm really glad that e.l.f. has given us some cream bronzers as well, and also in shades that we can wear. Okay, so the lighter one, that is Bronzed Belle, and the darker one here is Beach Please. I would say these are not necessarily as pigmented as the Fenty Beauty ones, but that's not necessarily a bad thing because sometimes you're trying to build it up. Sometimes you don't want a really harsh contour, so I don't mind building up my contour at all. So if I know that I want one that's a little more pigmented, I'll go for the Fenty Beauty one, and if I want one that's a little less pigmented and one that's like less harsh, one that I would rather build up, then that's when I'll go for the e.l.f. Putty Bronzer. So yeah, make sure you watch my video on that. Now onto powder bronzers, which I absolutely love. Bronzer is one of my favorite steps, and I always gravitate towards a powder bronzer. So the first ones I'm going to show you are ones that are a little bit more affordable, and then I'll also show you some that are a little bit more pricey. So the most affordable bronzer that I have is the Revolution Pro, Revolution Glow, Makeup Revolution Splendor Ultra Matte Bronzer, and I have it in the shade Dark. I believe this bronzer is $8 at Ulta, and it is amazing. Last year, I remember everybody was going crazy over this bronzer. This is the shade that I have, and yeah, as I said, it's called Dark. I will swatch it for you on the back of my hand, of course. This is one of the most pigmented bronzers that I have, It is absolutely amazing. It comes in that huge pan as you saw. There is the color. It's really, really warm, and it gets better. This is not even the deepest shade that they have. I love to get the deepest shade that brands have, but I believe there's like 2 more shades after this, which is absolutely amazing. Makeup Revolution killed it with the shade range. This right here is my most affordable bronzer, and it's one of my favorites because it's just so pigmented. It really, really shows up on the skin beautifully. It blends beautifully. I love it. I will say it does have a little bit of fallout. I'm sure you can see in my pan. I don't know if you can. It does have a little bit of fallout, but that doesn't really bother me. That just means you just need to dip the brush 1 or 2 times into the pan, and that's all you need. So you don't even have to use a lot of the bronzer, which is a good thing. So yeah, I absolutely love this one, and I love the mirror that it comes onto. Sorry, I'm not gonna blind you. I love the mirror that it comes with too because it's huge. So if you want to do any other steps of your makeup in the mirror, you can. The next ones that I will show you are from Juvia's Place. I just recently got these and I'm using them. So they have 2 different shades. I have 2 different shades here. This is the dark palette and this is the deep dark palette. Of course, I will show you both. So here is what the dark palette looks like on the inside. It has 1 warmer shade and 1 cooler shade, or 1 lighter shade and 1 darker. I don't really know if it's supposed to be warm and cool or just light and dark, but these bronzers are absolutely amazing. I would say these are bronzers that you would definitely have to build up as well. I will swatch these on the back of my hand for you, but they are really beautiful. I love absolutely everything that I have from Juvia's Place. They're one of my favorite beauty brands. I feel like they kill it in everything that they do, and that includes bronzer. So as you can see, 1 is darker and 1 is lighter. There's not too much of a difference, but you know, if you want to go for a more harsh contour deep bronze look, then yeah, you can go for the deeper one, and if you want a look that's a little bit lighter, then you can go for the lighter one. Here is what the deep dark palette looks like. So as you can see, again, a lighter and a darker shade, and these shades go really, really dark, which is nice. So if you're even darker than I am, you have an option here. I will also swatch these on the back of my hand for you. And I would even say one of these could be used as a contour almost. When they start to get really, really deep, that's when I feel like they start to lose their bronziness, for lack of a better term. But I think this bronzer palette is really nice and still gives you a bronzer look. I feel like when the shades start to get too deep, it starts to give contour, and it's like, no, we don't want contour, we want bronzer, okay? So this one still is deep, but warm, because that's what bronzer is meant to do. Give your face more warmth, more color. So that's what I really, really love about this palette in particular. So next I have 2 shades of the Morphe Glamour Bronze Face and Body Bronzers. This first one is a little bit more worn. This is in the shade Leader. Here is what it looks like. Really, really nice, big pan. I absolutely love excuse me, when bronzers have nice big pans, just like the Makeup Revolution one. I just love it. They give us so much product. I'm like, that is so generous. Thank you. And this one is also very pigmented. I wouldn't say it's as pigmented as the Makeup Revolution one, but it is quite pigmented. You don't necessarily have to build it up as much. I'll show you what that looks like. Here is the swatch. Really nice, beautiful, warm tone. So as you can see, I think you're starting to get a sense of the type of colors that I like to wear on my skin. And the other shade that I have here is called Prodigy. This one is much darker. Not much darker, but it's a darker shade. And this one kind of looks like one of the shades in the Juvia's Place palettes. I don't think it's as dark, but I will swatch that next to Leader. It's only slightly darker. And again, what I like about this one is, that one's the dark one right there. What I like about this one is it's still warm. It doesn't give you contour. It's not giving you powder contour, it's still giving you bronzer. These are really, really beautiful bronzers as well, and they come with big mirrors as well, which is really nice. Again, for just doing your makeup in general, you can look into the mirror there, and yeah, you don't have to dip your brush in more than 1 or 2 or 3 times, and it shows up really, really beautiful on the skin. So next, I'm going to show you guys some of my favorite bronzers. I feel like I say that about a lot of them. I love almost literally all of these bronzers, but these have a special place in my heart. As you know, These are the Fenty Beauty bronzers, the Sunstalker bronzers. I have two shades. I have Mocha Mommy and Thick Mint. I actually did a review of the Fenty Eaze Drop skin tint, not foundation, and I included Thick Mint, the Thick Mint bronzer in that video. So if you'd like to see full thoughts, please watch that video. I'll leave it up here as well. But this bronzer is absolutely beautiful. Let me show you Thick Mint first. She's getting a little bit dirty. I hope you don't mind. But this is the deepest shade of the Fenty Beauty bronzers. I think it is so gorgeous, and that they killed it with this bronzer. Again, they kept it warm, like a warm neutral tone. They didn't give us contour. They gave us bronzer, and it's stunning. I think this one has moderate pigmentation. I think you definitely can build it up, but it doesn't require too much work to build up. It's still pigmented, but not too pigmented. You know what I'm saying? You definitely have to dip the brush in maybe 4 or 5 times, but it doesn't require too much buildup. I'm actually wearing Miss Thick Mint today, and I love how it looks. I think it is so gorgeous. Cannot say enough good things about it. The other shade that I have is Mocha Mommy, and here's what she looks like. I say this every time, but Miss Mocha Mommy has been through it. She's been through it, and you can tell. She's very well loved. Since Miss Thick Mint has come out, I haven't not shown Miss Mocha Mommy as much love, but it still is one of my favorite bronzers of all time. I believe this is the first bronzer I literally ever got. This one definitely has more of a red tone to it. Here is Mocha Mommy. This one is definitely more red toned than Thick Mint, and some people liked that and some people didn't. And I think they took that feedback really well, because this type of undertone does not always look good on everybody's skin, because everybody has different undertones. So I'm really glad that they created Thick Mint, which is a little bit more neutral, warm neutral, so that it suits more skin tones. But yes, Miss Mocha Mommy definitely gives what needs to be gave. She does everything she needs to do. Such a beautiful bronzer. I definitely recommend it if you have neutral, warm undertones, but if you are neutral to cool, you might like Thick Mint. Honestly, if you're warm too, you might like Thick Mint. I believe my undertone I believe my undertone is neutral warm, and I really like both of them. So they have a bronzer for everybody. I know they have a shade called Cocoa Naughty, and Cocoa Naughty might show up on me. For reference, my Fenty Beauty shade is 445, and also I will leave some of my foundation shades below, so that if you're close to mine or you have the same, if we're foundation twins, then you will know if they show up on you. But yeah, they really have bronzers for everybody. Now I have 2 bronzers left to show you. I believe these bronzers are very underrated and are not often showed on YouTube or on social media in general. I don't see them get as much love. The first one is the Haus Labs Heat Spell Bronzer and Highlighter Duo. I believe this is the deepest one that they have. This is in the shade Volcanic and Lava. So here is what it looks like on the inside. Really nice bronzer duo. That's a really nice deep bronzer, so I'm surprised I don't really see as many people talk about it. And this one is a really rich, smooth bronzer. I think it's one of my lighter ones in my collection, but it definitely still shows up on my skin. If you can see her there, this one is very red warm. Now the last bronzer I have to show you is from a brand called Zoeva. It is their Radiant Bronzer Highlighter. This is in the shade Lumi 0.6. I believe this is the darkest shade. This is what it looks like. It has the bronzer and the highlighter next to it. The highlighter is not too intense, so please don't worry about that. I just mix the two together and it gives you this really radiant look, hence the title. I just take my brush and I just swirl it between the two. So if I want a little bit of a glowy shimmer bronzed look, how many times have I said bronzer and bronzed this video? Then I will reach for this bronzer. This one is also one of my lighter bronzers and one of the first ones that I got as well, but it's still really beautiful, really warm, really pigmented, and it looks absolutely gorgeous. And I think, I'm not sure if you can see, but it has a little bit of a glow to it. Now this last product I have to show you guys is actually not a bronzer. It is the Juvia's Place The Chocolates palette. Now, while it was just me and Mocha Mommy against the world, while I did not have as many bronzers in my collection, I loved using this palette. Guess which one I like to use as the bronzer? This one, of course. This one is also a really nice bronzer shade or slash contour shade if you're deeper. And this one is definitely more of a contour shade because it doesn't have as much warmth. So I'm just going to swatch these two right here for you. And one thing about these is they're an eyeshadow formula, so they're a lot more pigmented. This is one swipe of both of those shades. So as you can see, they're definitely more pigmented. And they're very warm. They're really, really nice bronzers, or really nice eyeshadows to use as bronzers. So if you don't really feel like picking up a bronzer, go ahead and pick up this palette. It's really, really nice and versatile. I actually used this palette on my eyes today. So you can use it for your eyes, you can use it for your face. It just is very versatile and works really nicely. And even if you're a little bit lighter than me, you can even go for that one if it fits your skin tone. And then this one doesn't have as much warmth. I'll swatch that one too, just for fun, but it does not have like any warmth in it. That one is definitely more of a contour shade, very neutral. But again, if you would like to use this one as a bronzer of sorts, you definitely can. Those are all the bronzers that I have to show you guys today. I hope you found one that you might want to get, one or two. So if you would like to purchase any of these bronzers, I will leave all of them in my description, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please leave any requests that you guys have in the comments. I'm thinking I would like to do a nude lip combo video, so if you'd like to see that, let me know. Let me know any other videos that you guys might like to see, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye.